call the June 6, 2023 meeting of the Ormond Beach City Commission to order. It's 7 p.m. and I hope you felt welcomed when you came in tonight by our Planning Director, Stephen Spraker, and our Utilities Manager, Bob Preece. They served as our greeters this evening. I'd like to recognize the folks that are sitting up in front of you. To my right, your left, Recording Secretary Ashley Clements, Assistant City Clerk Taylor Lockhart, City Clerk Susan Dodderis, Commissioner from Zone 1 Lori Tolland.
Good evening, everyone.
Commissioner from Zone 2 Travis Sargent.
Good evening, everyone.
To my left and your right are Zone 3 Commissioner Susan Persis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome.
Our Deputy Mayor and Zone 4 Commissioner Harold Briley.
Good evening, everyone.
City Manager Joyce Shanahan, Assistant City Manager Claire Whitley, City Attorney Randy Hayes, and then way over there to my left, way to your right, is our Police Chief, both Chiefs actually, our Police Chief and Fire Chief, Police Chief Jesse Godfrey, Fire Chief Howard Bailey. For those of you listening online, I'm Mayor Bill Partington. At this time, if you would, silence your cell phones and rise for the invocation given by Chaplain Sam Mercado from Advent Health, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Almighty God, we gather here today to make decisions for our community. May we use only the best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and pitfalls of each matter that is placed before us. May we act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. And we ask your blessing and guidance on our city leaders as they make these decisions in behalf of our community. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time we'll recognize Bradley Burbaugh from the County of Volusia, and he's going to give us a presentation on the county's Regrow the Loop program in cooperation with the University of Florida.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. I want to say, first of all, I wouldn't be here this evening if it wasn't for the leadership for the gentleman next to me, your District 4 Commissioner, who brought this initiative forward and built support for the council. So I'd like to yield some of my time to him just to give greetings to his former colleagues and give a few remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Burbaugh. Commission, great to see you all tonight. When Dr. Burbaugh takes over in just a moment, we have a little something for each of you. We have some Regrow the Loop stickers that the county has. We're hoping, of course, to have the city as an official, full-fledged partner. But I publicly just want to thank this city for always putting their best foot forward and supporting great, incredible green initiatives. And Regrow the Loop is exactly that. It is an opportunity for homeowners and volunteers alike. And as we know, the loop starts right here at the base of the bridge, goes all the way down to Walter Boardman, jumps back over to the beach side, and then you can either take A1A or John Anderson all the way back up to Granada Boulevard and back over to this spot for the loop. Staff has a wonderful short little video, I believe, to share with you all this evening, and it's an absolute honor to be before you all and sharing this positive good news. I'm going to let Dr. Burbaugh take over, and I'm going to pass these out to you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I know you're no strangers to the loop, so I won't go over the background, but just I like to describe the loop as having two distinct personalities. It's the sunny beach side and the shaded forest side, and what makes it really unique is the upland habitat on the west side of the loop and the ecotones, which are those ecosystems that kind of are transition zones between our uplands and our coastal systems, which I think really is what makes the loop so beautiful. There's 1,396 properties that abut the loop, representing about 8,400 acres. There's several embedded public assets, as you see, 9 state, county, and city parks, and multiple beach and river access points. Interestingly, if you look on TripAdvisor, it's the #2 thing to do in Ormond Beach. So people come here just to see the loop. What the council has approved is a pilot program starting on the loop. So it's going to be implemented over the next 12 months. And like any good educator, we have a logic plan with short, medium, and long-term outcomes. Really our goal, I won't get ahead of myself there in the next slide. The topics that we teach as part of the program and that we'll be pushing on social media are research-based and universally applied across the county. So while we're targeting the loop, this initiative is open to any resident in Volusia County that wants to participate. Our UF-IFAS extension team out at the Ag Center really has specializations in horticultural faculty from the university on staff and are skilled in outreach. So they're leading the program along with the county and our environmental management and local partners. We have a stakeholder that says the government can't do it all, we all can't do it all, but all of us can do something. And so we've engaged multiple partners, and that's why I'm here this evening, is to ask you to be a partner in this initiative. So what are our objectives and what are the activities we're using to accomplish these objectives? Our first objective is #1, to regenerate plant coverage on the loop. How do we plan to do that? We plan to teach people sustainable landscaping practices, so like right plant, right place, Florida-friendly landscaping, have tree giveaways for individuals who participate in our program. We'll elevate the awareness of the initiative through social media and some mailings, gather the community at monthly educational activities, both formal and non-formal, so some classroom education, but also some site visits or field trips to different parks. Reclaim the loop from invasive species. So many of our horticultural faculty who've traveled the loop say this is a major issue, mostly Brazilian pepper. So how do we mobilize volunteers to help us in controlling and keeping those invasive species from spreading? Offer a Regrow the Loop pledge. So this is a behavior-focused practice. I believe there's 24 practices where individuals can sign up on our website to commit to helping us, #1, regrow the loop, protect water quality, and engage for the loop, so volunteer. And if you select to do one of those things, what you'll do is you'll get a postcard from us with one of the stickers that you got this evening saying, thank you for being a part of our Regrow the Loop. We hope to see you at an educational program. And then work to attract more wildlife or pollinators along the loop. When I say wildlife, we're talking mostly birds, not the bears, hopefully. But Audubon's involved in our initiative and has agreed to provide some of their really great online resources for individuals who are looking to attract some of those things, some of those wildlife to their yard. So how can citizens participate? First step is sign the Citizen Pledge, because what we do is when you sign that Citizen Pledge, we will send one email, very clear about that, one email a month saying, these are all the activities that are part of the initiative this month, please join us. Attend an educational activity. If they do those two things, they'll receive a free native plant, a free native tree at one of our giveaways, one in the fall and one in the early spring. This is our website, volusia.org/regrowtheloop, where all of these things can be found, the Citizen Pledge, the full program proposal, everything that I'm talking about, as well as the video I'm about to show you. We have plans formal educational activities at this point, so this is a snapshot with our first program to be offered June 24th of the formal educational activities. We also have our second partner meeting of all the partners this Thursday at the library here behind me, where we're going to ask our partners to present the educational activities that they would like to roll into this initiative. So what is my ask? What is the county's ask of you? This is what we've asked all of our partners to do, what's on the slide. So market the initiative and share our educational deliverables on social media. Contribute to the creation of a good guys versus bad guys on the loop of native plants. So We're going to highlight that on social media, contribute to the development of a top 10 list of trees that will facilitate canopy growth along the loop, lead or contribute to the educational activities. I will tell you, your staff already has shared information on your tree giveaway that has been helpful to us on identifying species and cost, help recruit volunteers for events, and attend partner planning meetings. So that's the ask of the county today, of this commission. And with that, I'd like to show the video, and I'll answer any questions the commission may have. The County of Volusia, in partnership with UF-IFAS Extension and other local partners, is excited to announce our Regrow the Loop initiative. For those of you who may not know, the Loop is a 30-plus mile double loop designated as a Florida Scenic Highway and National Scenic Byway in Ormond Beach with beautiful natural scenery just like old Florida. Along the loop, ample access to the ocean, various parks, rivers, creeks, museums, and other historic buildings is easily accessible for the public. Regrow the Loop's mission is to provide homeowners with the resources and information to preserve the Loop's beauty, and the county's beauty for that matter, for years to come and for all to enjoy.
You can get involved in several ways to help us regrow the loop. First, sign the online Regrow the Loop Citizen Pledge on our website. This pledge outlines simple actions you can personally take. Help keep invasive plants off the loop. Adopt Florida-friendly landscaping principles, and share the message with those within your community. By taking the pledge, you'll also want to attend at least one educational event and volunteer in some fashion to further this initiative. Information about registering for educational events and volunteer opportunities will also be posted on the mentioned website.
The initiative allows us to remember that all life is a cycle, including trees, bushes, shrubs, even you and I. So we're at a point now in the life cycle of the loop where the trees have matured, and it's time to look at regrowing the loop so that we can maintain the beauty and the majesty of the Ormond Loop, the whole 35 miles, and that each individual homeowner is really a part of this whole beautiful landscape. And we have an opportunity now, with the help of the county and the city and the other agencies and the private homeowners that we have here, is to get our hands dirty, plant a tree, and watch it grow and nurture all that we plant and take care of, not only for us, but for our future generations.
Don't live on the loop? That's okay. Many of the practices and principles can be applied wherever you live in the county.
With support from the Volusia County Council, the Regrow the Loop initiative will start June 24th with our first workshop at the Ormond Beach Public Library, with events scheduled each month for the next 12 months. So 2 things I should say. All of our formal educational workshops are scheduled to be at the library behind me. And our ask is not for a monetary contribution at this time. It's a partnership in name and a staff member to attend our partner meetings to keep the commission and city manager updated if that's the council or commission's desire. With that, I'll answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Commissioner Persis.
Yes. Thank you. That was a great presentation. Thank you very much. I just had a question about the Florida-friendly landscaping. Is that on your website that we could look up and see what those tips are for the Florida-friendly landscaping?
It is not on the Regrow the Loop, but that's a good idea. We can put it. There's 9 science-based principles that
Okay.
UF-IFAS Extension has developed
Okay.
that are research-based, and we'll absolutely add the link to the webpage.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Commission, did you have a motion? Commissioner Toland?
I would like to make a motion that we accept the Regrow the Loop as we become partners with Regrow the Loop and offer whatever help we can.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Burbaugh. Thank you, Councilman Kent. And we will move to audience remarks, starting with Frank Gromling.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City Commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Frank Gromling. I'm the owner-director of Ocean Art Gallery on 97 East Granada Boulevard, Granada Plaza. I'm accompanied tonight by several other business owners and others concerned regarding the police union negotiation that is currently underway, and we support our police department. They are here with me and available to you as well. I'm here in support of the Ormond Beach Police Department in its current negotiations with the city. My prior business experience included some 30 years in domestic and international security, during which time I worked with federal, state, and local law enforcement. It was almost always the case that in the towns and cities in the United States, at least, that were the strongest, they had the most respected reputations, and the people were the most secure and organized and loved where they lived. That those cities also had very strong established law enforcement agency, a local police department. That local police department is strong, people-focused, was very strongly supported by the people. As well, they were experienced, they were well-trained, and they were held to a high standard. In every case, senior officers led the teams, led the forces. Those senior officers had earned their respect and their positions, and they performed them to an exceptional level. New hires, people were trained. Those folks were trained by a training officer staff. Those folks were also trained by the senior officers in addition. One of the things that business owners and residents expect from a professional police department, one that is not troubled by the knowledge currently that is being experienced by our department, where three smaller cities in this county that have smaller populations, have higher pay and better benefits. I ask you, as you look at this situation going forward and in your negotiations, this is a critical time for the city to decide what kind of city it will continue to be, or will it change what kind of city it is. I thank you for this time. I encourage you to consider this. Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. The minutes have been sent to the commission for review, also posted to the city's website. Any additions, deletions, or corrections, commission? These are the May 16th, 2023 minutes.
I move approval of the minutes from May 16th, 2023.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, and we'll show the minutes passing unanimously. The consent agenda, the action proposed for each item on the consent agenda is stated. Is there any commissioner who wishes to pull any items from the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Please call the vote.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. At this time would be the appropriate time if any member of the commission wanted to comment on any of the consent agenda items. Commissioner Tolland.
I just have two comments, and I just want to just say that I was very pleased that we are moving forward with the septic to sewer on Oak, Magnolia, and Bonita. I think that's a great project, and I would love to see that continue in the future. And I'm also very pleased that we're sending out finally the bid to Doug Thomas Way Extension.
Very good.
I concur with those comments.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Briley. Anyone else? If not, we will move to public hearings, and I will open the public hearings. Ask the clerk to read 8A.
Ordinance number 2023-09, an ordinance amending paragraph C, official zoning map of section 2-01, established of Article 1, establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of chapter 2, district and general regulations of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code by amending the official zoning map to rezone 2 parcels of real property consisting of approximately 19.62 acres located at 36 North Timber Creek Road, Volusia County parcel number 4125-00-00-0221 and 2011 West Granada Boulevard, Volusia County parcel number 4125-00-00-0243 from Volusia County RC Resource Corridor, Volusia County A-2 Agriculture, and Ormond Beach B-8 Commercial to Planned Business Development, authorizing revision of official zoning map, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-09, read by title only.
Thank you. And this is 8A, and I think we're going to take 8A and B somewhat in coordination with each other, but we'll start with Planning Director Stephen Spraker.
Good evening, Stephen Spraker. This is a request for a zoning map amendment. You are correct that A and B are tied together. The first one is for a zoning map amendment, and the second item is for the issuance of development order. The commission should either approve or deny both of them jointly. So if you approve one, you should approve the other. If you don't approve one, you should deny the other one. The existing zoning on the property is B8 General Commercial here. This portion here is 3.2 acres is Volusia County Agriculture. It's proposed to go to Planned Business Development, and this is Resource Corridor. They all have commercial land uses. Staff is recommending approval, and the planning board also recommended approval. Did you want to go over the second item too, Mayor? Or?
Sure.
So again, on first reading, this is a revised site plan that was submitted by the applicant. The revisions include the relocation of the buildings. The new buildings are in orange. They are shown greater than 180 feet in length, which requires the Planned Business Development. The project is not requesting any waivers. They are triggering some thresholds, which includes density, building height, and building length. Through the process, there has been a number of correspondence received. Recently, Moss Point correspondence recommended to approve the current configuration. Planning board did review this and recommend denial with a 5-1 vote. The commission has options of either approving as submitted, approve with conditions, or deny it, and the applicant is here to address the commission.
Thank you. Any questions for Stephen at this time? Nope. Thank you, Stephen. And I have a card from the applicant's attorney, Mark Watts.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the commission. It's good to see you again this evening. We've done a lot of presentations on this, so I didn't prepare an updated presentation for you, but I did just want to go through and reiterate a couple things and then address one point. As staff has done a very good job in your staff report of detailing the proposal in front of you is the result of a great deal of discussion with the surrounding neighborhoods. We've spent about the past year since I got involved with the property, working with Indian Springs and the surrounding property owners to really come up with what we think is the best alternative. And we appreciated your support on first reading for both this item and the next one. And we understand that we find ourselves at an odd time where we're dealing with it in the context of Live Local and kind of the changing contour of the law. But let me emphasize just the benefits and the commitment. Garrison McMillan, who's the property owner and representative of the the ownership group, wasn't able to be here because, if you recall, we continued our hearings in April to May to allow some time to digest the new law, and he had a previously planned vacation with his family, so he was not able to come back for a second reading. But I do have some comments that he wanted me to share with you. Starting with his commitment, we said at first reading that even with the changing contour of the law, we had worked long and hard with some of the surrounding property owners to come up with a set of conditions, and that included nearly doubling the required tree preservation area, 28% of the overall site in tree preservation, limited access, eliminating direct access to Timber Creek, limiting that to emergency access only, increasing setbacks and buffers and landscape buffers from the minimum 20 feet required under your current zoning in place there to 130 to 218 feet, plus the additional plantings, plus the masonry screening walls and all the other things that we've worked through with the neighborhoods. Reducing the maximum building heights, looking at all the various options for securing the site, providing various fencing and everything else at the request of the neighborhoods, and substantially reducing the maximum traffic that could be generated from the property based on the current uses. If you recall, the uses permitted there under the commercial designations that exist now could be substantially higher intensity retail uses that would cause obviously higher traffic volumes. All of this is so that we can try and bring forward a project that is a luxury multifamily project, Class A project that really has the amenities and the fit and finish that I think fit well into the Ormond Beach community. The other points that I just wanted to address, I think we've all experienced the criticism that can come from keyboard quarterbacks that don't have the luxury of sitting behind a keyboard and a computer screen versus sitting at a dais and actually making decisions that affect not only property owners' interests, but those of the surrounding owners as well, and the community as a whole. So I've seen some of the blog posts and some of the other columns and editorials and op-eds and things of that nature about the decision on first reading with this project, and I just wanted to point out a couple things. One of the points made was that here you had somebody saying, hey, we've got this new law that lets us go in and do things at a maximum density that's far more than we're asking for here if it's affordable. And here you've got a developer, if you look at their background, doesn't have any affordable housing background or experience in their current portfolio. I will say that one of the things that Garrison shared with me is he personally has been involved with about 900 units of affordable housing development through his career, and as a direct result of Live Local, Telus Partners, which is his current company, is specifically developing an investment group that is targeting projects around the state based on Live Local. They see the value in the act. They see what it can do for the state. They see what it can do from an investment standpoint. So they are specifically getting into that marketplace. So I thought that was kind of an unfair criticism or comment that just because there's not a lot of experience on one website talking about one particular company's portfolio, that automatically applies across the board. The other thing that I think some of those comments ignored is the value of what's been negotiated. Before we got here talking about the effect of that act, we had neighbors standing up saying, we think this is the thing that you should approve next door to us. Because of all of that list of things that we worked together, met in the cul-de-sac, walked through the woods, took pictures, measured heights, so we could specifically lay out a project that addressed their concerns. The criticism I gave you of the legislature and the legislation at the first meeting we were talking about it is, I'm a huge proponent of home rule. I don't like the decision-making power being taken away from the local level. The development order and the commitment that you got from Garrison at the last meeting, it was, I will stand by the commitments that I made if you approve the PBD rezoning. I will stand by those commitments with how we move forward with the development of the property, and I'm willing to move forward with what we have in front of you versus coming back and using the benefit of that act. I want to keep that the case. I want to keep that the case. I want to move forward with the development order that's in front of you tonight, and I hope that you'll continue to support that as well. What I can tell you is that right now I've got a client that has purchased the property. There are a little bit over $5 million invested in Ormond with the ownership of this property and the permitting and the design and the other fees that have been paid in connection with the approvals and the approval process. So they're going to move forward with the development of the property. And we hope that it's with the agreements that we've made with the neighborhood as well. One of the things, and I'll leave it with this, because I thought this was just a good statement. Garrison sent me an email when he told me that he wasn't going to be able to make it back down for this meeting because of his prior commitments. He said he sent me an email to share with you, and I've paraphrased most of it. But he said, in closing, I want to paraphrase a comment that Commissioner Lori Tollin said at the first reading prior to the vote. Please take care of our little town. Commissioner Tollin, I hear you. I will take care of this town. The project before you will be a first-class development, offering much-needed housing options for the often overlooked population of household formation. I ask you and your fellow commissioners to vote yes once again. So we appreciate that we're all here kind of dealing with the changing contour of the law. We want to proceed with what the law currently is, not what it's going to be in 3 weeks. And so we'd ask for you to support the PVD rezoning, the issuance of the development order, so that we can proceed forward, knowing that the commitments we've made to the neighborhood and the community are intact. So we appreciate your time. Here to answer any other questions you might have.
Any questions for Mr. Watts? Commission? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Troy Railsback. You're okay. Connie Colby.
Good evening. My name is Connie Colby. I live at 108 Roble Lane in Ormond Beach. I'm not going to even speak about the apartments. I don't think apartments belong in the parking lot of a drugstore, but I'm kind of curious as to the zoning that is going on with this, because it looks like they've taken two pieces of property and put them together. The back part of that property has an A2 zoning through the county, which is agriculture. And looking at what's supposed to be there, there shouldn't be any lots there smaller than 5 acres. And then the city also has an SE on their map, which is special environmental. I don't understand how you would put that with this and allow apartments to go on top of that property. Anyway, that's my main concern, why the environmental aspect of part of that property is being overlooked in rezoning that.
Thank you. Thank you, Connie. William Clark.
Good evening. My name is William Clark. I live at 41 North Timber Creek Road. I'm a retired police officer from the city of Detroit. My one concern is the traffic that we're now experiencing in front of our home. Between the hours of 5 and 6 p.m., it's almost impossible for us to get out of our driveway. And I'm a little concerned with adding roughly 500 more cars in this intersection. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for us to get out between the hours of 5 and 6 p.m. Please consider that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And Al Fritz.
My name is Al Fritz. I'm a resident of Community Breakaway Trails, which is a significantly large gated community which adjoins the property in question. I'm very familiar with the area that's involved with this proposal. I'm a daily user of Timber Creek Road between Breakaway Trails, which is immediately north of this project, to a short distance down to West Granada Boulevard. And what I want to raise to the commissioners today, with all due respect, is really a concern for safety. Admittedly, I have limited background on the discussions that we've had up to date on this proposal. And I raised the question as to whether or not there have been studies on the effect of this development, its ingress, egress, and traffic volume on the traffic flow on Timber Creek Road accessing Granada Boulevard. As I understand it, the ingress, egress to this project will be exclusively on Timber Creek Road. And if you were to exit this community, in overwhelming majority of cases, you're going to want to head south to approach Granada Boulevard. And when you do that, when you come out of the development, you're going to immediately need to cross lanes and go over to a left turn lane or two left turn lanes that go on Granada Boulevard, which at certain hours of the day, particularly in the morning and in the afternoon during school hours, school bus movements, can be significantly jammed, also jammed early in the morning when we have daily commuters. And I'm just very, very concerned as to what kind of congestion we're going to cause on this. So again, my concern is one of safety and of traffic flow, and I just ask that the commissioners be satisfied in their own mind that we have sufficiently addressed that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Commission, that's all the cards I have. Just need a motion and second for discussion.
I move approval of ordinance number 2023-09.
Second.
Moved and seconded, and discussion, who wants to start?
I was just wondering, would it be appropriate to ask Mr. Spraker to come up and explain the zoning to Ms. Connie and the traffic
Concerns?
at this point?
I think
just
you could, because I heard a couple
explanation and maybe.
Yeah, I heard a couple misstatements in there, so
Yeah.
Stephen, if you could clear that
Thank
up
you.
for us.
So the property has a land use and zoning. Every property in the city has a land use and zoning. In 2001, there was an annexation of 6.4 acres, which is this top parcel. I call it the Pac-Man. Here's the Volusia County Stormwater Pond. This parcel, the 3.2 acres, has a land use of residential, office, retail. So even though it has a county zoning, it has a city land use of an office, residential, retail land use. The 3.2 acres that had the county environmental system corridor stayed as open space conservation, because that's where all the wetlands are next to the tributary of the river. So as you do a rezoning, you have to be consistent with that ROR. So your choices are planned business development, the B1 zoning district, the B9, or the B10. Those are your choices because of the land use. So for the traffic, there have been a number of studies dating back since 2000. The project does have a Florida Department of Transportation approval. One of the things that was given up through this process was the access to this intersection with Timber Creek was made an emergency access only. So basically you can only have police and fire vehicles going in and out of this corridor. Now there is a leak through the Walgreens that you could theoretically cut through there and get to Timber Creek. That's an existing business that they can't really do anything. All the primary entrance and exit is from West Granada Boulevard. Again, that project has been issued a permit from the Department of Transportation. We spoke to their staff, and they are comfortable with the turning movements that they have approved. That answer?
Thank you. I
Yep,
appreciate that.
Thank you. Anything else?
Sure. All right. So just for discussion for our sake, we all know, the Live Local Act was thought to be the answer to the deficiency for affordable housing. It was a very good intended bill that's had some very unfortunate consequences. It did not take into consideration the effects of increased density on infrastructure, roads, traffic congestion, hospital, and obviously taking away our home rule is not something I would prescribe to as either. One bill does not fit all size cities and needs. Saying all of that, I will be approving the Timber Creek apartment project tonight with much refrain. Although I've received a lot of emails and comments that the Live Local Act may not be able to be enacted so quickly, I cannot personally take the risk and the gamble on whether the developer will choose to take advantage of that act and if it was denied. I'm still not 100% sure of what I would not be 100% sure what the project would or could look like, and I can't not take that risk of what the effect of that act would be on its neighbors, particularly Moss Point and Indian Springs. We know what's proposed. It did have certain improvements, just like Stephen just said, with Timber Creek Road, with the wall against Indian Springs, with the increased buffer, and some other items. So we know what those improvements are, and we know what those setbacks will be adhered to, and I appreciate that promise, Mr. Watts. Density for me is still an issue, but I personally cannot gamble on even a greater density if denied.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Sargent and then Commissioner Persis.
Sure. So on first reading, I voted for the rezoning for the purposes of hoping to reduce the density. Obviously, the density is not going to get reduced, so therefore I'll be voting against that as well. I still have serious concerns with the overcrowded hospitals, schools, traffic. I do appreciate that the applicant worked great with Moss Point and Indian Springs on resolving issues. However, we have multiple other neighborhoods in the vicinity that I didn't hear that were brought to the table, such as Breakaway Trails, Timber Creek. You know, there's thousands of homes that are going to be affected by this. And I've had several residences who are my boss, who put me in this chair, who reached out to me and thanked me for voting no on this, for looking out for their best interests. So therefore, tonight I'll be voting no on both. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Persis.
I just want to thank Lori Tolan, Commissioner Tolan, for what you said, because I totally agree with everything that you said tonight about this. That's exactly how I feel. I don't want to gamble and take a chance of having more homes in that area. The speakers were correct. The traffic is an issue. It is an issue, and I'm hoping that maybe we can get some changes through the county, possibly even on State Road 40, to make it better. But I'm just not willing to gamble with even more possible apartments, so I will be voting in favor of it.
Thank you, Commissioner Briley. Did you want to speak?
Yeah, and I guess, it's kind of, unfortunate that Garrison's not here, because I did have a couple of questions, and I don't know if Mr. Watts can answer them or whomever. I know that in looking at some of their past projects, they do a lot of, TELUS does a lot of what they call luxury apartments. And I just want clarification if these are going to be a continuation of luxury apartments or basically market rate apartments.
Luxury. These are aimed at being Class A luxury apartments with the design that's
So there's this three-story building?
Three-story.
With
Correct.
elevators?
Yep. Okay. Correct. Yes.
My other question for him was going to be, and of course it's probably a long shot because it's kind of late in the game, but even a reduction of 20 units would be nice, just to at least, 20 is not much, but it would reduce the density some.
Yeah.
250 is, I think, a workable number. But again, I think that would be a question he'd have to answer, not, I don't know if you can answer that question on his behalf.
Well, and I've asked that same question. As we've been in the conversations with both the commission and the planning board, the neighbors, and we've talked about density round and round, one of the things that we focused on was, is there room to bring that down further? And there just wasn't. Based on the costs to hit the type of project that he's proposing with the amenities and the fit and finish and everything else, he's got to, it was hard to come down from 300 to the 270. So that was not something that he was able to do.
I'd rather see, and again, I think you're hearing a lot
Yeah.
of the comments up here. Everyone's concerned with the density. They don't particularly care for the density. Unfortunately, it could be higher with a different type of project. I do concur with Commissioner Tolland that it could be. I'll probably regretfully or be voting voting in favor of it just because I know what could come down the road, and I don't know if it's worth taking that gamble. I'm not sure you want to be the first, as far as a city, be the first to challenge a new law that comes in, because I don't know, where that'll actually get you. So that's kind of where I stand on it. I certainly would. I mean, any chance he has. Now, I will tell you this. I did speak with some of the residents of Moss Point and Indian Springs, and I will tell you what I heard specifically from the folks in Moss Point is that they are okay with the project so long as Garrison adheres to the concessions that he had agreed to.
Right, and that's in the agreement.
I know that's in the development order, and I try to assure those folks that whatever is passed here tonight, he'll have to hold to.
And we've taken to heart the conversation about Timber Creek, and one of the things that as you move into the next stage of a project like this and start dealing with the proportionate share and things of that nature, we'll have an opportunity to work with your staff and the city and the county staff to make sure we're targeting the investment of those dollars into that area. So that'll certainly be our goal. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Watts. And Commission, I know this has been difficult for you. Honestly, probably in 2 decades, one of the more challenging projects that's come before us with a lot of different concerns, but I am going to support it as well. I have reservations really primarily based around traffic, and I think dealing with the traffic on Granada in the future is going to be a huge issue. I have a 10-point draft proposed plan to deal with that. It's very expensive. It's probably very controversial. That's why I call it a draft. And I'm not going to be here to see it anywhere near ever completed. But some of the things you'd have to look at would be a diverging diamond at Granada and 95, just like we're hopefully getting at US 1 and 95. Something to move traffic under that interchange much more efficiently than what we have now. And this is in the works. Again, it's going to take years to complete, but you need at least one extra lane both ways on Granada west of 95 all the way out to Airport Road. This one's controversial, I know, because I've dealt with it, and Deputy Mayor Briley, I'm sure you've already heard about it, as well as the other commissioners, a Hand Avenue overpass to provide the east-west mobility that this city, because of the way it developed, has never had. Granada Boulevard is our primary east-west mobility tool, and it gets heavily used because of that. We don't have the additional east-west capacity that Daytona, even Holly Hill, South Daytona, all those other cities have a lot more east-west thoroughfares, and that allows them not to have such jams. You need a frontage road from Granada all the way to LPGA on the west side of 95. Timber Creek is going to have to be completed at some point all the way from LPGA to Granada. That's number 5. Number 6 would be an additional east-west connectors at Fleming and also at Cala Grande. You could punch those out to Williamson and probably to Beach Street and make those true connectors, east-west thoroughfares. Maybe thoroughfare is not the right word, but they would provide some relief. And then number 7, you need commercial development on the west side of 95, probably somewhere in the area of breakaway trails. You need a public shopping center, you need a dry cleaners, you need a bank, you need a salon, something that's going to reduce all of those trips that currently have to go underneath 95 on Granada to get to those services. That has to happen in the development of the west side of the city. So again, I said this is controversial. It's a draft plan. I wouldn't even call it a plan because there's no funding or real movement on it. But these are the ideas, I guess, that you would need. Also, you'd need number 8, accel and decel lanes at strategic hotspots to maximize the flow. At 95, the interchange access that could be provided at Airport Road, that would provide some relief, the ability for the people that live up that way to get on and off 95 there, a smaller interchange. That's a possibility. And then 10 would be a social media campaign, Jen, not like you don't already have enough to do, but a know when to go campaign that teaches our residents, many of whom are retirees, certainly not all, but know when to go. You don't go out during the peak times to do what you need to do and expect there not to be some traffic. That's something that other busy cities use and something that we could use. A couple other little things, consider them 11 and 12 if you want. One's little, one's not so little. 11 is when Tomoka Elementary is reconstructed, which is starting soon. They're completely redesigning their parking lot, which is going to help quite a bit with the flow of traffic, both in the morning and in the afternoon, and those should be noticeable improvements on Granada when that happens. If you look at the redesign of it, you'll see it has a tremendous amount more capacity in the new school than what they have now. And then the 12th, probably the most controversial and probably the least likely to happen, would be a bridge over LPGA to the beach side. And you could do it, it should have been done, for whatever reason it didn't develop that way, but that would be another east-west corridor that would provide relief over.
I've been preaching that for years.
I hear you. Yep. So, those are the kind of things, and I tell people it'll only take $3 billion in 15 years and we can solve this problem. But that's the kind of stuff that's going to have to happen on Granada. And maybe a few of those, maybe some of those will be more effective than others, but we have to be thinking about ways that we can fix the issue that has developed historically. And I think there's things we can do. We've already done the adaptive traffic management system. That's helped a little bit, but there's other things that need to be looked at. So all that to say, again, I can't gamble either, Commissioner Tolland. I appreciate your comments. The city is too important to me to gamble with possibilities, knowing that there's a quality project that's been heavily negotiated between the developer and the directly abutting communities. I think that's about the best result we can hope for in this situation. So unless anybody has anything else, I'll ask to call the vote.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
No.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8B.
Ordinance number 2023-10, an ordinance authorizing the execution and issuance of a development order for a planned business development to be located at 36 North Timber Creek Road, Volusia County parcel number 4125-00-00-0221 and 2011 West Granada Boulevard, Volusia County parcel number 4125-00-00-0243 to be known as the Timber Creek Apartments, authorizing the development of 270 multifamily residential units and associated site improvements under certain conditions, establishing conditions and expirations of approval, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-10, read by title only.
Thank you. And Commission, I don't have any additional cards. Does anyone have any questions for either the applicant or planning director on this one? Just need a motion.
I move approval of ordinance number 2023-10.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
No.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8C.
Ordinance number 2023-25, an ordinance amending paragraph C, official zoning map of section 2-01, established of Article 1 establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of Chapter 2, District and General Regulations of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code by amending the official zoning map to rezone 9 certain parcels of real property totaling approximately 103.45 acres located south of Plantation Oaks Boulevard, east of Addison Drive, north of the Village of Pine Run subdivision, and west of the Plantation Oaks subdivision. Volusia County parcel numbers 3136-01-01-0011, 3136-01-01-0012, 3136-01-33-0110, 3136-01-25-0010, 3136-01-24-0060, 3136-01-33-0080, 3136-01-01-0020, 3136-01-23-0060, and 3136-01-24-0050 from Volusia County R-4 Urban Single Family Residential and Ormond Beach B-8 Commercial to Ormond Beach Planned Residential Development, authorizing revision of official zoning map, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-25, read by title only.
Thank you. And Commission, just so you're on the same page with me, because I got confused with the, we just had a little agenda adjustment. We're on 8C, which was the former 7C on the, before we got the revised agenda. I just wanted to make sure everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So 8C, and then this is second reading. Does anybody have any questions of either the planning director or the applicant?
Mr. Mayor, I move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8D.
Ordinance number 2023-26, an ordinance authorizing the execution and issuance of a planned residential development order for the Ridgehaven subdivision, authorizing a subdivision of 286 lots on approximately 103.45 acres to be located south of Plantation Oaks Boulevard, east of Addison Drive, north of the Village of Pine Run subdivision, and west of the Plantation Oaks subdivision, establishing conditions and expiration of approval and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-26, read by title only.
Thank you. Again, planning director is available and also the applicant's attorney available if anybody has any questions. I don't have any cards. So
Move approval.
Second.
any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8E.
Ordinance number 2023-27, an ordinance amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the City of Ormond Beach by amending the future land use map to change the designation of one parcel of real property totaling 3.06 plus or minus acres located at 1755 North US Highway 1, Volusia County parcel number 3126-00-00-0150, from low-intensity commercial to light industrial utilities, providing for conflict, authorizing transmittal, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-27, read by title only.
Thank you. Again, commission, no cards.
Move
Se-
approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8F.
Ordinance number 2023-28, an ordinance amending paragraph C, official zoning map of section 2-01, established of Article 1, establishment of zoning districts and official zoning map of Chapter 2, District and General Regulations of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code by amending the official zoning map to rezone one parcel of real property totaling approximately 3.06 acres located at 1755 North US Highway 1, Volusia County parcel number 3126-00-00-0150, from B-7 Highway Tourist Commercial to I-1 Light Industrial, authorizing revision of official zoning map, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-28, read by title only.
Thank you, Taylor, and of course you picked the night with all the parcel numbers to be our reader this evening. Good job. Again, Commission, I don't have any cards on this second reading item.
I move approval of ordinance number 2023-28.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 8G.
Ordinance number 2023-29, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, District and General Regulations, Article 2, District Regulations, Section 2-21, T-2, Manufactured Home Zoning District of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code by creating special standards for the previously existing manufactured mobile home parks, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, providing for severability, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-29, read by title only.
Thank you. Commission, Planning Director is available if you have any questions. Otherwise, I don't have any cards.
Move approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 8H.
Ordinance number 2023-30, an ordinance amending Section 1-25, reserved of Article 4, Schedule of Development Review and Impact Fees of Chapter 1, General Administration to implement the Water and Wastewater Utility System Connection Fee study by creating the Water and Wastewater Connection Fee section, amending Section 1-26, Mobility Fee of Article 4, Schedule of Development Review and Impact Fees of Chapter 1, General Administration to amend the person trip mobility fee per the Municipal Impact Fee Study, amending Section 1-27, Impact Fees of Article 4, Schedule of Development Review and Impact Fees of Chapter 1, General Administration to delete stormwater impact fees, amend local road impact fees, and create police and fire impact fees per the Municipal Impact Fee Study and Police and Fire Impact Fee Study, amending Section 1-30, Certificate of Concurrency required of Article 5, Concurrency Management of Chapter 1, General Administration, amending Section 3-57, Potable Water System of Article 5, Utility and Infrastructure Design Standards of Chapter 3, Performance Standards, amending Section 3-59, Sanitary Sewer Systems of Article 5, Utility Infrastructure Design Standards of Chapter 3, Performance Standards, amending Section 3-60, Reclaimed Water Systems of Article 5, Utility and Infrastructure Design Standards of Chapter 3, Performance Standards, amending Section 3-61, Utility Line Extensions of Article 5, Utility and Infrastructure Design Standards of Chapter 3, Performance Standards, amending Section 3-62, Wholesale Sale of Potable Water, Sewage Treatment, or Reclaimed Water of Article 5, Utility and Infrastructure Design Standards of Article 3 of Chapter 3, Performance Standards, amending Section 3-65, Interim Package Type Wastewater Treatment Facilities of Article 5, Utility and Infrastructure Design Standards of Chapter 3, Performance Standards of the City of Ormond Beach Land Development Code to implement the recommendations of the Water and Wastewater Utility System Connection Fee Study, Municipal Impact Fee Study, and Police and Fire Impact Fee Study, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof, providing for severability, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-30, read by title only.
Could you repeat that, please?
That's right. Thank you. And Commission, I don't have any cards on this one.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval.
Okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 8I.
Ordinance number 2023-31, an ordinance amending Section 8-10, Application Processing Fees of Article 1 and General of Chapter 8, Buildings and Construction Regulations, repealing Section 8-421, purpose and intent of Article 9, impact fees of Chapter 8, buildings and construction regulations, repealing Section 8-422, fees imposed of Article 9, impact fees of Chapter 8, buildings and construction regulations, repealing Section 8-423, impact fee financing of Article 9, impact fees of Chapter 8, building and construction regulations, repealing Section 22-2, determination of equivalent living units of Division 1, generally of Article 1, water of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-29, special provisions for water for irrigation of swimming pools of Division 2, rates and charges of Article 1, water of Chapter 22, water and sewers, repealing Section 22-115, fee imposed, schedule of Article 3, impact fee for system extensions of Chapter 22, water and sewers, repealing Section 22-118, property subject to fee, method of payment of Article 3, impact fee for system extensions of Chapter 22, water and sewers, repealing Section 22-119, impact fee financing of Article 3, impact fee for system extensions of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-132, legislative findings, purpose of Article 4, Hunters Ridge, Flagler County DRI service area of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-133, service area, defined of Article 4, Hunters Ridge, Flagler County DRI service area of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-135, rates for water and sewer services, impact fees of Article 4, Hunters Ridge, Flagler County DRI service area of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-140, impact fees of Article 4, Hunters Ridge, Flagler County DRI service area of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-162, boundaries and purpose of Article 6, West Ormond Utilities District of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-165, impact fees of Article 6, West Ormond Utilities District of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-168, outside city service of Article 6, West Ormond Utilities District of Chapter 22, water and sewers, amending Section 22-169, connections required of Article 6, West Ormond Utilities District of Chapter 22, water and sewers, of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Ormond Beach to implement the recommendations of the Water and Wastewater Utility System Connection Fee Study, Municipal Impact Fee Study, and Police and Fire Impact Fee Study, repealing all inconsistent ordinances or parts thereof and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-31, read by title only.
Trial by fire.
Take a breath.
That's right.
Good job.
Commission, I don't have any cards.
Move approval.
Second.
8I, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 8J.
Ordinance number 2023-33, an ordinance annexing a portion of Harmony Avenue right-of-way into the City of Ormond Beach, said property located at the intersection of Hull Road and Harmony Avenue, bisecting 1399 Hull Trail, setting forth zoning privileges and obligations regarding the right-of-way, redefining the territorial boundaries of the City of Ormond Beach to include the right-of-way, redesignating the boundaries of Zone 1 of the City of Ormond Beach to include the right-of-way, providing for transmission, providing for severability, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2023-33, read by title only.
Thank you, and I'll ask our planning director to give us a brief synopsis on this item.
Good evening, Stephen Spraker. This is a request to annex a portion of Harmony Avenue. This is Hull Road right here. The sports complex would be to the bottom of the screen. If you recall, there was an annexation for Halifax paving that annexed both sides of this right-of-way. So the county requested that we annex the right-of-way. The city already maintains the right-of-way per a 2004 interlocal agreement. So we already have maintenance responsibility. It just took us a bit longer to get to the legal description for this versus Halifax paving, which is why it's at this meeting. Staff is recommending approval of the annexation. If there are any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you, Stephen. Any questions for Stephen? I don't have any cards.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 8K.
Resolution number 2023-108, a resolution of the City of Ormond Beach, Florida City Commission vacating portions of the revised plat of National Gardens as recorded in map or plat book 10, pages 250 through 253 of the public records of Volusia County, Florida, providing for vacation of plat, providing for implementing actions, and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2023-108, read by title only.
Thank you. And Commission, I have, as always, our Planning Director, Stephen Spraker, available for questions, and Glenn Storch, the attorney for the applicant, available if you have questions or would like them to speak on this item. I don't have any other cards.
I move approval of resolution number 2023-108.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. 8L.
Resolution number 2023-109, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Ormond Beach, Florida, approving the preliminary plat for the Ridgehaven subdivision, a planned residential development, establishing conditions and expiration date of approval, and setting forth an effective date. This is resolution number 2023-109, read by title only.
Thank you. Again, I don't have any cards. Same speakers available.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Sargent?
Yes.
Commissioner Persis?
Yes.
Commissioner Briley?
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland?
Yes.
Mayor Partington?
Yes. Randy, let me just double check. It's okay to close the public hearings now as we go into first readings? All right, we'll close the public hearings. Move to 9A.
Ordinance number 2023-34, an ordinance amending section 5-1, definitions of Article 1 in general of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-10, animals constituting a nuisance prohibited of Article 1 in general of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-13, feeding of feral or stray animals prohibited of Article 1 in general of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-23, running at large prohibited of Article 2, livestock of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-25, notice of impounding of Article 2, livestock of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-62, licenses annual fee of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-67, duplicate tags of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-69, running at large prohibited of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending 5-70, impounding of violators of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-72, responsibility for payment and reclaiming after impoundment of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-78, dangerous dogs of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-79, exceptions of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-80, investigation and determination of dangerous dog of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-81, action to be taken by owners, keepers of dangerous dogs of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-82, reserved of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, amending section 5-83, optional action of Article 3, dogs and cats, other animals of Chapter 5, Animals and Fowl, of the City of Ormond Beach Code of Ordinances, and setting forth an effective date. This is the first reading of ordinance number 2023-34, read by title only.
I think Susan wanted a night off.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm gonna be dreaming about animals and fowl and dogs and cats. I'll ask our city attorney, thank you, Taylor, another good job. I'll ask our city attorney, Randy Hayes, to speak on this item.
Okay, well, this ordinance is prepared in response to a request several months ago to look at our dangerous dog ordinance and try to shore it up a little bit. What the ordinance does is it creates a new category for an aggressive dog. It does not redefine the statutory definition of a dangerous dog. It cleans up some other provisions within the statute. I mean, that's kind of the general summary. If you want a more detailed summary, or if you have questions, I have Deputy City Attorney Ann Margaret Emery here. She spent a lot of time with the animal control folks putting this thing together, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Randy and Ann Margaret. I thought you both, bless you, did a great job shoring up our statute and still keeping us in compliance with state statute. Commission, any questions for either Randy or Ann Margaret?
Questions?
I don't have any cards.
I move approval of ordinance number 2023-34.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes. 10A.
Ordinance number 2023-32, an ordinance amending section 2-221, Leisure Services Advisory Board of Article 6, Boards, Commissions, Committees, and Other Agencies of Chapter 2, Administration of the Code of Ordinances by amending composition and terms, providing for terms, conditions, and setting forth an effective date. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2023-32, read by title only.
Thank you. I don't have any cards.
Mr. Mayor, my only comment on this is hopefully this will help with this board, because I understand the last meeting they had another problem making a quorum. So with the reduction of the number, hopefully this will help.
Fingers crossed. Was that a motion?
Yes, sir.
All
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion second on second reading. Any further discussion? Please call the vote.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Commissioner Tolland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sargent,
Yes.
Commissioner Persis,
Yes.
Mayor Partington.
Yes, and we are now at reports, suggestions, and requests. Do you remember who we started with last time?
Persis, I believe.
Okay, so we'll start, as always, we start with the city manager, but when it's time, I'll go to. They think Harold.
You went down there.
We're just trying to figure out who's on
But I don't
first.
think it was me. I was a couple of, who's counting?
Who do you think it was, Lori?
Huh?
Last time, was it Harold?
It was down that way.
Okay, so you're starting this time, but we're starting with
It doesn't matter.
City Manager Joyce Shanahan.
I'll go first, though. I'll be happy to go.
All right, well, thank you. When you all decide that, I'll keep talking and I'll go on. First of all, I want to take a point of personal privilege. I was out of town when Officer Stokes had the official clap out for serving as the OBMS School Resource Officer for 6 years. Prior to that, he was in the DARE program, I think, for about 10 years, and he's been an officer with us for 23 years. Officer Stokes, I say congratulations. And thank you very much. So, thank you very much. We're so very proud of you and all you did there, and glad to have you back on the road, but I know that's a tough job. I just want to remind the commission your operating budget workshop is scheduled for July 18th. This is June. So that's at 5:30, and you all know that, so we'll keep you up to speed on that. The new basketball gymnasium at the Joe and L. Willie Daniels, hello, Mr. Daniels, at the South Neighborhood Center is nearing its final completion with the installation of the backboards and bleachers. So be on the lookout for ribbon cutting soon there. So we're very excited. South Beach Street sidewalk repairs are nearing completion. The contractors have completed modifications to so they're nearing completion. That's a different item. They're nearing completion on there. We're still waiting for a few things to get, but the Public Works crew did that in-house and made all those repairs, so we're very proud of them for that. At the wastewater treatment plant, contractors have completed modification to the weirs and installed 2 of the 4 clarifier covers, which will help with our keeping the bacteria fecal down to a low level. Also, at the water reclamation facility, a project includes doing additional work there to efficiently treat and produce reclaimed water for our residents. Summer camp has begun. School is now let out, and our Enviro Camp has a standing room only session. They have 2 4-week sessions, and that fills up immediately, and so we're really excited. The kids at the camp do archery, fishing, nature walks, and off-site field trips, and it's just a wonderful experience there. Summer Connection Day Camp will begin on June 12th at the Joe and L. Willie Daniels Ormond Neighborhood Center. Summer Connection consists of 2 4-week sessions featuring a fun-packed summer full of sports games, learning, and field trips. And our field trips are largely donated by a benefactor in the community. A Night to Remember Father-Daughter Dance. The Casements and the Guild will be hosting the first ever A Night to Remember Father-Daughter Dance on Saturday, June 17th from 5 to 7 p.m. The theme for the evening is the Roaring Twenties. Dads, stepfathers, grandfathers, and uncles are welcome with their special ladies ages 7 to 12. Tickets are $20 per couple. Independence Day, as always, we celebrate Independence Day on Independence Day. It's a Tuesday this year. It'll be the 247th birthday of our great nation. The fireworks start at 8, and fireworks and festivities start at 8 and go to 9:30. So that's always a great turnout for our community. There's so many people. It's so much fun. Movies on the Halifax. It will be Onward, starting at 8:30 on July 7th. First Saturday Art Walk. The Casements has joined the First Saturday Art Walk. Come and be part of history to help paint the casements. A paint-by-numbers canvas picture, that is, and so that'll be greatly appreciated. Lastly, I want to let you know that staff is working to be more effective and efficient with email, so we'll hopefully reduce redundancy of emails that you get. So we're working on that, and hopefully we can launch that in early August. The city manager's office has also developed a issues and a request log that we received from the commission and their concerns, so that we'll be publishing that each month, so you can take a look at what we've received and what we're doing with that. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for the city manager?
Thank you.
Great report. Thank you. Assistant City Manager Claire Whitley.
I just want to say excellent job, Taylor, and good night. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney Randy Hayes.
Could answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Any questions for Randy at this time? No? All right. And tonight we start with Commissioner Tolland.
So font is 16, and there's only 1 in a little page tonight, so we're good. So a lot of residents have verbalized their desire for healthcare beachside. That's something we've all heard, and just doing a little research on that. And although there's no standalone facility, I do want the residents to be aware that there is a company, and I did not know about this, and I'm in healthcare, called Dispatch Health. And I don't know if anybody's heard about it, but what it is, it's a mobile company that supports patients no matter where you are in your healthcare journey. The services range from same-day high acuity care to 30-day alternative care to a hospital stay. So, and they deliver it straight to your door. So it's mobile healthcare workers with the ability to draw blood, to do x-rays and all, and I'm sure there's a cost. A lot of insurance companies do cover that, but it was something new to me, so I think it would be really important for us to get that word out to the community, that they can perform similar care to an urgent care facility. I was also told in an informal discussion with Advent that they will be looking to add 400 beds to their Daytona Beach campus in the future. So I know we're struggling with all this development, and one of the reasons that we struggle is because of the limited hospital space. So I know Advent's already looking forward to trying to address those issues. I did attend a scenic loop meeting in the library. It was a re-energized group, and they're looking for ways to support the regrow the loop effort. I've also attended a Civic League luncheon where FDOT and the county, I know you all were there. They presented transportation projects specific to Ormond and the surrounding area, and it was well attended and informative. I had my first chat with the commissioner at the Ormond Farmers Market on May 25th. I met a few lovely folks there, even though it was raining, but they offered some solutions and ideas, and unfortunately, Yellowstone decided they needed to cut the grass right where I was having my little chat, so we'd have to maybe plan for something different in the future. But anyway, I'm planning on doing it again on June 22nd. And they were spraying mulch, yeah. Real thick mulch into the gutters. I was also proud to be a part of the Volusia League of Cities banquet, where you all attended as well, where awards were presented to outstanding folks in the county, and a special congratulations to our citizen Paul Hollab for his Outstanding Citizen Award. The Memorial Day remembrance was very solemn and heartfelt tribute to all those who fought for our country. Our staff honored the fallen veterans very beautifully, and I appreciated being part of that. Thank you to the City Attorney Office for their good work in the dangerous/aggressive dog cleaning up of that ordinance. I know that was a lot of work, and you have a lot of other issues going on and things you need to do, but I do appreciate the attention you spent with that. And last but not least, June 1st was the social media kickoff for the Regrow the Loop campaign pilot program. I encourage, we saw that, and just for those out in the cloud, I encourage you to take a look. I want to formally thank Dr. Brad Burbaugh for taking the time to come tonight and sharing this initiative. And I want to thank you all specifically for your support of that. And I was part of that initial group where we met over in Volusia County to gather that information and present to you, and I fully intend to stay involved with this initiative. But I welcome anybody else, if you would like to join in that initiative, to please come, and I can share with you when all those meetings are. And that's it. Good night.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Sargent.
That was easy. Just to piggyback on that, the Memorial Day service was awesome. And then Commissioner Tolan and I attended the dedication of the new, I guess, garden shed at the Ormond Art Museum earlier today at 4:30. It was well attended. Greg Stokes, thank you for all you've done for the community, for all the kids that you've mentored, and the impact that you've had on so many is so powerful. Thank you. Mr. Daniels, good to see you. Hope you're feeling well. It's been a while since we've seen you. What else do I have? I think that's it. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Persis.
Good evening, everyone. I too hope everyone will join me in congratulating Officer Stokes for his clap out. I was fortunate enough to be there. It was just awesome. They had all the kids out at the school all around the courtyard, totally surrounding the courtyard. They surprised Officer Stokes. He was on a golf cart. They drove him all around. If you can just picture this, these kids who had signs like, "Thank you for your service. We love you, Officer Stokes." And to have middle school kids do that for you, that sends a huge message that you really touch their lives. And you've touched so many lives. And as a former principal, and you worked at my school too, I mean, you're just absolutely amazing, and I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I know you've made a difference in so many children's lives, so thank you very much. Very proud of you. And Joe Daniels, we're glad to see you here, and I heard you even drove here. Is that correct? No? Yes? Mum's the word. I'm not saying a word. Okay. But we're very happy to see you here. It looks like you're healing quickly and well. So that's great. I was fortunate enough to attend the Teacher of the Quarter luncheon for the end of the year for the teachers in Ormond Beach at Stonewood. on A1A. And it's awesome how we have people in our city that recognize these teachers that work so hard and many times don't get a whole lot of positives in their lives. So it was really wonderful to get to see them being recognized. So I was very appreciative in being there. And I, too, of course, was at the Halifax Civic League, and we learned a lot there. And it was awesome seeing Paul Holla being named the Citizen of the Year. Well deserved for him. And I'll end with the Memorial Day Remembrance. It was, that's kind of my favorite, activity of the city, my very favorite, because it's so meaningful, and we all just need to appreciate so much where we live and what we have here. So I just want to compliment staff for everything they do for Memorial Day. And with that, I'll say good evening. Be safe.
Well said. And Deputy Mayor Briley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll take over for Lori on kind of a lengthy one, but I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Since our last meeting, I just want to remark how busy our mayor's days. On May 17th, I attended the Leadership Orman graduation ceremony for the Orman Chamber holds over at the Anderson Price Building. I had quite a few graduates this year from a great program, and it was a very, very nice ceremony. Follow that up a couple hours later at Seabreeze High School at the Walter Bailey proclamation, which was kind of special because he was a teacher of mine at Ormond Beach Junior High School in the band, and obviously getting to do it at my old alma mater at Seabreeze High School was kind of nice. So we gave him a nice proclamation, a key to the city, and he was very appreciative. So the 22nd of May, we were over at the Ormond Beach Elementary School, another alma mater of mine. I've had to remind the kids that when I went to school, there were over 40 plus years ago, there was no air conditioning. So, you should have seen their eyes light up. They couldn't believe life without air conditioning. But we dedicated the proclamation the mayor gave on the Kiwanis, the book giveaway. So that was a great event. The 24th, in absence of the mayor, I attended the TPO meeting, and I want to congratulate Mayor Partington for being, I guess, the first vice chairperson and treasurer next year for the TPO. I do want to reference something, though, that Mayor Chazé from DeBerry mentioned, and she made a very good point, I thought, and it's something that I think I would encourage all of the members of the TPO to be on the lookout for. District 5 DOT is quite a large area. It encompasses, Brevard County, Volusia County, Flagler County, I think portions of Putnam and Lake, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Mayor, maybe even up to St. John's. But in any case, there's only been, I guess, committed by the state $600 million over 5 years for roadway projects. And when you start thinking about it, and I think she's absolutely right, $600 million is not a lot of money over a 5-year period. That's $120 million a year. And what it costs to pave a segment of roadway today, it's not going to go very far. So I would encourage our TPO to continue to follow the lead of Mayor Chazé and continue to try to investigate other avenues of funding, maybe petitioning the state for more money. But $600 million over 5 years, I agree with her. Sounds like that's not really enough money. Same day, the 24th, we had the Public Works proclamation over at our Public Works Department. They had a fantastic cookout. Sean Finley and Kevin Gray and those guys did a fantastic job. And, our Public Works folks really are a very integral part of our city. I think, more people probably contact our Public Works folks on a daily basis. They probably have more contact in some cases with our Public Works folks than they do any of our other departments within the city. So they do a great job, and we appreciate them. Again, the Civic League lunch on the 25th was great at Oceanside. Great presentations, I thought, from the folks from FDOT and the county on the different roadway projects they have going and what they kind of foresee in the future. That night, obviously, we followed up at the Brandon Center for the Volusia League of Cities Center. Congratulations again to our Citizen of the Year, Paul Hollum. I think Paul is very deserving of that award, especially with his contributions to the city. The Memorial Day Remembrance was a fantastic event. Mr. Mayor, you did a great job, and it was great to see the entire commission and some of our staff there. That was very, very nice. I want to thank Commissioner Persis for standing in for me at the Chamber Teacher of the Quarter event. I had another appointment that day I couldn't make as she stood in for the mayor and I both at that event, so I thank you very much. Just a few things. I know you all have probably received, as I have, emails from the folks who are owners of the Symphony Beach Lodge regarding dogs on the beach. And I didn't know if that was something we wanted to revisit. We actually had the lady, Nanette, came today to the Daytona Beach Area Association of Realtors to pitch her project to our Government Affairs Committee. They endorsed it, but, you know, with that being a 0.6 mile stretch of beach, one question I did ask her was if there had been any consideration given to having these areas where dogs were out on the beach in front of, like, the parks, say like Andy Romano Park and some of the other parks along the beach in Volusia County. I know it would create more areas where they would be allowed, and they would be on areas of the beach that weren't necessarily in front of someone's house or someone's business where folks may take exception to. Now, one thing is for sure, I mean, this is number one, a county issue. We're just, you know, endorsing the idea. And the folks that own those properties don't own the beach. But I've gotten probably about 12 or 15 emails from folks on the Symphony Beach Lodge, you know, voicing their objections to having the dog zone in those sections of the beach. So I don't know if that's something we want to revisit, and maybe, I don't think that we want to not endorse the idea, but maybe location. And I do know that they looked at that little over half mile stretch is that you don't want to put the dogs all in one confined area, because you have too many dogs in one area. I think it may be something we want to discuss in the future. Is there any update on the Historical Society lease?
Robert Carolyn, Leisure Service Director. I had a meeting with Mary, the president of the society. We're working on, she's putting together a proposal for us that we'll be bringing back in the near future.
They're still looking at 50 years, right?
Oh yeah, well under 50 years. I think they just recently renewed one of their agreements. I think it was 10 years, give or take. But
well, I think they're looking for a 50-year lease.
Oh, I think that's their hope.
Right. Okay. I didn't know where we stood with that, but I guess we can discuss that when it comes back to us. I'm sorry.
The commission approved renewal of the lease earlier this year. It had been sent over to the Historical Society to review and to vet. The leadership there at the time approved it, sent it to the commission, it got approved. New leadership, now they don't like it. One of the sticking points is they want a 50-year lease. The problem, though, is that this is a public asset, so it's, you know, if you want to give a long-term lease, you need to get something back in return. So I think that may be part of the proposal that Robert is waiting on. So right now they don't have a lease because they didn't sign what was approved.
Right.
And we haven't seen anything.
So they're operating without a lease,
essentially.
Yeah.
And so we have not seen anything from a public resource component that we could at this point recommend to you a long-term lease. So.
Randy, just a quick correction on, they actually did sign the agreement for us after, I asked them to sign it so that we could have the remainder of this year to maybe renegotiate and then bring it back. So they are currently operating under the agreement that you guys approved, I think a couple commissions ago.
Right. Yeah, I knew we did, but I knew they were looking for maybe something a bit longer, because they had told me they still, even though it was signed, they still had questions on the lease, which probably should have been answered before it was signed. So.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Something else that has been brought to my attention as far as maybe a potential request and maybe something this commission would want to look at again is something this commission looked at probably 10, 12 years ago, is electronic signs, electronic message signs. And I think there may be a couple of maybe businesses or organizations within the city that would like to be able to utilize those signs. I know we could look at maybe, putting whatever restrictions on the signs as far as size, color. You can't really, content's hard to do, but, someone asked me, says, well, we'd like to have an electronic message sign. I said, well, they're not allowed. And they said, yeah, I know, but you have one in front of the Performing Arts Center. You have a point. So it may be something I think we want to look at just in fairness. I don't know what the feeling of the rest of the commission is, if it's something you want to have staff look at, maybe bring back and discuss, but that was something that has been brought about to me.
I think it would be appropriate to maybe for planning to talk with their staff about that. I mean, that's usually where that stuff starts.
Right. It would have to go before the planning board for sure.
Yeah, and go with them and just see if that's something that they see as important, and then if they do, they can bring it to us and then we can discuss it. My one thing I remember when we strategic planned is I would love to have had a message board signage for the city, with similar to Port Orange has down on Dunlawton, talks about upcoming events and all that, to avoid some of the extra little signs we have on the bridge and this and that with all the events. So I think there's merit in that discussion, and maybe it should start with the planning
We
department.
talked for some time about maybe having something like that at the foot of the bridge in lieu of all the signs that go up the bridge. So,
right.
I want to make a remark as well on the vote this evening, or at least my vote on the Timber Creek Apartments. I believe had it not been for the Live Local Act, my vote would have been very different. I just can't, in speaking with the residents of both subdivisions and other people around the city, they just didn't see, or couldn't see us gambling or taking the risk of having more density there than what we approved. So with that, I do want to again congratulate Officer Stokes on a remarkable career. Thank you for your service to the city and to Orem Beach Middle School. I know those kids up there love you, and you mean a lot to the city. We appreciate you. And Joe Daniels, so good to see you out and about. I hope you're feeling better. You're looking good. And with that, I'm sorry?
He's mean as ever.
And mean as ever, that's right. With that, I'll say goodnight. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. And as far as dogs on the beach, I think the commission is in a pretty good spot right now because it's obviously a county issue. We have no control.
Right.
We kind of supported the general concept, as I recall. I mean, I don't have the letter in front of me, but we recommended a place, Bicentennial Park, that has no homes in front of it, and really would probably be the best location in the entire county to do something like that. But no good deed goes unpunished, because when the county council got a hold of that, there was a snarky remark that, and I think we did that to support our former council person, or Commissioner Kent.
Right.
And then just because we didn't want to have to see people drive all the way to Ponce Inlet or New Smyrna to let their dogs run on the beach, but the county council, somebody in a snarky way said, well, if Ormond Beach wants it, let's put it in Ormond Beach. And so here we are. And so those emails that I get, I let them know it's a county issue. We have no control, and I don't know anything that we could do to make that position better or less murky, unless somebody else has another idea. But other than re-asking them to put it at Bicentennial Park, there was some concern about turtles or something like that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, turtles don't pay property taxes. Human beings do. So why we're valuing a segment where there could be some impact to a turtle, or there may not be, depending on what happens up there, it's a strange situation that instead of picking the most logical, common sense spot for it, they chose in front of people's homes, which I don't think is the correct place for it. I mean, I agree with those people in those emails, and so that's where I'm at on that. If anybody else wants to weigh in, feel free. As far as the sign, lighted signs, that's a dangerous slope. I feel like a lot of people do not like the pollution from the lighted signs. The one on, and you can put time restrictions on them too, so they're shut down during nighttime hours. I don't know, at the Performing Arts Center, Robert, is that one shut down at all? Nope. So I guess that one, but that's more of a commercial corridor right there on US 1. There's a big one at 40 and Nova. I think that was in exchange for getting rid of between 4 and 6. Yeah, that's a lighted billboard. That was in exchange with that company, Lamar, for getting rid of like 4 or 6 on the ones on US 1 from Nova up to Wilmette. And so that was a deal that went way back. So I don't mind discussing it. Those signs can be done in a nice way, and you can put restrictions on them, but I don't know where that discussion ultimately ends up. I guess it depends on who wants it and what the reason for. It's just a slippery slope, because once you open it up, everybody's going to want one because they're effective.
The one discussion I remember in the planning board, and Mr. Spraker could probably remember, is that when we had the discussion, we didn't want them like changing, color changing and word changing in a certain time frame. They were more static and then had the ability to change with events. Is that correct? So there are things you can do. I agree with you, Mr. Briley, that it's worth a discussion, but it is a slope.
Yeah.
If we make the decision, everybody's going to want one.
Agree. No animation, no flashing, just, informational, that type of thing.
So Joyce, you've got 3 willing to discuss that if there's some kind of proposal out there, I guess, that comes back. Maybe do that before taking anything. Start, kind of kick off the process. Staff did a great job tonight, both at the capital improvement workshop. It's fun to watch our staff work. Sometimes they sweat a little bit, but that's fun to watch too. They always do a great job, and they're honest, and they work hard, and they try to do their best for our residents. And so, we occasionally give them a little bit of a hard time for that, but hopefully they realize that's all in good fun, and it's because we like you. It's not. That's right. Joyce, tonight I thought Susan showed great leadership in having Taylor do some of the reading. Taylor, great job. And then Ashley was on PowerPoint. I thought that went fantastic as well. A little bit of cross-training is incredible, and I think seeing that in the clerk's department, it just shows me good leadership from the clerk and good supervision from Joyce, and a great job by all of you. I just wanted to recognize that, so thank you. There was something special about the Memorial Day ceremony. Each of you mentioned that. It's a hard day for a lot of people, and the city and the committee that put that on always do a fantastic job, but something was extra special about it this year, and I don't know if it was the weather cooperated. It's cooler than it's been in many years, but there was just a great community spirit down there, and to see the way our city comes out to honor, remember, and respect our veterans is a very heartwarming thing. Officer Stokes, congratulations. I'm sorry I missed it. If I had known about it, I would have made every effort to be there. You do an amazing, incredible job at Ormond Beach Middle School. I know you'll be just as effective on the road. And I mean, almost everybody stood up and clapped this evening, gave you a standing ovation. So you've got to feel good about that. So congratulations, and we really appreciate. There may have been one person that I saw didn't stand up, but I'll talk to you about that after the meeting. I don't want to start trouble, but there was a possible injury involved, and that may have been why they couldn't stand up. But anyway, I hope you feel honored because, like I said, I know certain specific situations you interacted with those children in a way that a lot of people wouldn't have, and our city is better for that, and we thank you for that. So we appreciate you. Deputy Mayor and Commissioner Persis, even Commissioner Tollan and Commissioner Sargent, thank you for covering for me during that busy week in May. Lori and I celebrated 30-year wedding anniversary. We took a big trip, which we never really, and I don't know how long it's been, have never really been allowed to do, but it was really nice to do that and celebrate that 30-year wedding anniversary. So that was a huge gift that y'all gave to me, and I knew it was well covered while I was gone, and everybody did a great job. I saw the coverage in the papers. I hated, in a way, not to be there, but I knew it was well taken care of, so thank you all for that. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you all.